Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. Before you leave, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you on board. So this video is on how I contour my face like this. So yeah, if you guys want to see how I contour my face, just keep on watching. And do take note that I know there's a bunch of like different face shapes, and this video is might not be suitable for like every single face shape, but I do show you guys how I contour my face on I feel like I have a circular face, so I try to like elongate it and make it look skinnier. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I would love you guys so much more, and yeah, keep on watching guys. So today I'm going to be using this Maybelline Fit Me concealer, and I'm in the shade Light. This is actually a little like a shade too light for me, but we're still gonna make it work. So I'm gonna start applying this concealer in my under eyes. Oh, by the way, I already have foundation on, so now we're gonna start with this concealer. I don't think I have a huge forehead, but it's not the tiniest forehead either, so I'm gonna apply a small amount on my forehead. I don't want it to look so pronounced, so I'm going to start with a thicker pattern and just make it a little bit more narrow. I do have a nose contouring video on my channel, so go ahead and check that out. I'll go ahead and link it down below actually. And I do put some concealer on my laugh lines. I feel like it fills them in a little bit. Some on my chin. I do have a rounder face, so I do try to elongate it as much as I can. And as you can see, I'm not going to carry the concealer all the way out here, just because I do have a round face, so if I concentrate the concealer on this part of my face, it's just going to make my face look wider, and I don't want that. But I mean, if you guys have a narrow face and you want to make it look a little bit more rounder, go ahead and carry out that concealer a little bit more. And I know you guys have seen plenty of tutorials on this, but it's so important to just keep the product where you placed it. And that's why I like to do the concealer and the contour separately, because I feel like if you put it on your face all at once, you're just trying to blend everything out and it just becomes like a big muddy mess. So I mean, it's preference. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend this out. I forgot. And I do have a little bit of darkness under my nose, or around my nose, so I'm going to put some concealer there and just blend it out. And I'm squeezing my beauty blender a little bit just to blend out the narrow parts of my nose. And if you do get some more concealer on like the outmost part of your face, and if you don't want it there, just don't even worry about it, because we're going to go in with some cream contour and that's going to cover it up. But I mean, just try to be as neat as you can. Get every single little crease, like the side of my nose. Oh yeah, by the way, my beauty blender is damp. I put some foundation on my face with the damp beauty blender, and I'm using the same exact one. You don't need to like rinse it or wash it, or the same exact one is good enough. So just make sure everything is blended out. I'm just doing it around my mouth. Alright, so once that is blended out nicely, I know this contour palette is way too dark for me, but honestly, whatever shade you think fits your face the best, just go ahead and use it. Doesn't matter if it wasn't created or if it wasn't like made for your skin tone. This is actually a deep contour kit from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I'm going to be using this one right here. I feel like this one is not too warm or too cool for my face. I'm like more on the olive skin tones, so anything that is too cool just makes my face look so muddy. But if you're fair skin, you definitely want to use more shades that are on the cooler side. So using the Sephora, it's like a flat foundation brush, I honestly use very, very little when I cream contour. I'm barely gonna tap some on the brush. I don't want to brush it on, because if you brush it on, especially if you have a heavy hand, it's just going to lift the product that we already blended out, your foundation, and if you put any of the concealer on, it's just gonna like brush it off, and your skin is gonna show through. So what I like to do is I like to not tap it on, but I like to brush it on very, very, very lightly so you don't disturb the product. So you guys see it's very, very subtle right now. And that's what you want anyway. You don't want something that's gonna just be like a bam right on your face. I'm gonna carry this on this side of my forehead. Okay, so if you guys have a wider face, and if you leave the concealer part open like that, it's just going to make your face look wider. So what I like to do is I like to kind of cut through my cheek like this. And it helps if you face forward. So the contour part is a little bit thicker, but it's still concentrating on this part of your cheekbone. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the other side of my beauty blender. I use this side, the bigger side, to apply my foundation and my concealer, and I like to use this side to just blend out the contour if I do use a cream contour. So I'm just gonna blend that out. And I feel like creams are a little bit more time consuming than powders, but the upside to that is that I feel like they look more natural, more like your skin, and not so powdery. I mean, it's all preference. Just blend it out so you don't have any harsh lines. I'm so sorry guys, I totally forgot that I had my fan on. So that first part was probably kind of loud. So I'm going to do the same to the other side of my face. And I'm going to do very, very little on my forehead. And just go ahead and blend it out again. And just be consistent with the sides that you've been using. And you want to make sure you pounce the beauty blender on your skin. You don't want to drag the beauty blender because it's going to disturb the product underneath of your contour. Just add some contour if you want it a little heavier, or if you want it a little brighter, just add more concealer. Alright, and I'm going to do just some on my chin right here. And the reason I'm doing this is because if I do have a double chin, the light is not going to hit it, so it's not going to accentuate my double chin. It's just going to like kind of shade it. And I'm just going to carry whatever product I had and carry it along my neckline, because I don't want it super dramatic. It's just, if I put some product there, because it's so dark, it's just gonna look like my face is a lot darker than my skin, than my neck. Alright, so now I'm going to take a smaller brush. This is a Sephora brush as well. And I'm taking that same shade. I'm taking a smaller one just because I'm going to contour my nose. And like I said, I do have a video on my nose contour, so if you want to check it out, I'll link it down below. The reason why I am doing this with a thinner brush is because you want to make sure that you place the product wherever you want it. I'm just going to pinch my beauty blender and I'm going to blend that out. Now everything's blended in, so I'm just going to go again with the concealer side, and I'm just going to make sure that if I did smile or do any like facial expressions, my little fine lines aren't showing through, because I'm about to set it with powder. And if you set it with powder once like when you have little wrinkles, little lines from the product that you place on your face or underneath your eyes, it's just going to accentuate that wrinkle or that little crease of makeup. So I'm taking some setting powder. And I'm using this Airspun translucent powder. It's actually translucent powder. And I'm getting very little and just setting the areas of my face that I highlighted or that I concealed. I'm not going to set my whole face with this. It's just the highlighted areas. And I like to take very little and just pinch it so I can set the center of my nose. So now to set the rest of my face, I'm using this Wet n Wild contour palette. It's in Dulce de Leche. And I'm just getting very, very little with this Real Techniques. I think this is a powder brush or maybe a blush brush. Tap off the excess, and I'm just going to kind of pat it on to the areas where I place some contour. And I like to use big fluffy brushes for this because it kind of blends whatever the contour with like the lightness of the concealer, and it kind of makes it blend into one. You don't want any harsh lines. So I feel like this helps a lot. And after you set this, you can always go over top with a bronzer because I feel like that blends and it makes your skin look a lot more like skin too. Not so harsh. I just carry this down. And once it's all set, I'm not going to take any more powder or anything else. I'm going to use what I have on my brush and just kind of pat it out first and then just lightly brush it off. You don't want to do it too harshly because I feel that's how you get, I don't even know what it's called, but it kind of looks like if you have blackheads and if you brush it off, it kind of just makes it look like you have little black dots and it just looks like a hot mess and makes it look muddy. So just tap it and then just lightly brush it off, and it just gives you like a really soft effect. And if you want to deepen up your contour, you can go ahead and do that. I'm going to use this Morphe brush. It's a fan brush, and I'm doing this because, like I said in the beginning when I was concealing or when I was using my my concealer, I don't want any light on this part of my face because it's going to make it look whiter. So I do this to just kind of give it some shadow and make my face look skinnier. I like to take synthetic brushes to work with the powders because I feel like they just give you like an airbrushed effect. And I'm just lightly going to go over that. And to make my lips more pouty, I'm just going to place some shadow underneath my lips. And I'm just going to finish the rest of my face, put some blush on, do my eyebrows, and throw on some lipstick, and I will be right back. Okay, and I also forgot to tell you guys that highlighting makes a huge difference. It's kind of like strobing in a way if you don't do like the contour, but that just adds to the definition of your contour and what you want to highlight and contrast. So I'm using this Wet n Wild highlighter in Precious Petals. I'm just placing it on my cheek, on my cheekbone. So I like to do it like this and then just kind of blend it out with a light hand. And then the nose. I feel like if you put it on your nose, it makes a huge difference. So I like to actually do it with my finger, not the brush. Just a little bit and just kind of dot it on. If you do it too high, it's just going to make you look like you have a piggy nose. If you do it too low, it's just going to like make it look pointy. So you have to do it just right. And then I like to take a little bit more and then just dab it on my skin and just do the very center of my nose. And I like to do this as well right here. And then just blend it out with the brush. I like to do a little bit on over my eyebrow. My mother-in-law calls them eyebrows. It's funny, it's cute. And obviously if you want to intensify your glow, you can always put some Fix Plus, that one's pretty much out, or just any water, or if you want to even make it more like intense, put some oil. I haven't tried it, but I saw it on Instagram, so I have yet to try it. So I'm just going to spray my face. And I'm going to put a little bit more. So yeah, this is how I contour my face. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and I hope you guys learned a thing or two. please leave any comments down below. I love constructive criticism. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.